because when they got to know Shedeur during the pre-draft process, they really liked him a lot as a human being. And I did too. I was out at the showcase. It's something that is bringing the Browns right into the center of the NFL universe. Right now, it's Shedeur Sanders.
What if I told you the Cleveland Browns just bet their entire future on a quarterback who hasn't played a single NFL snap? After a humiliating 3-14 season, the Browns were supposed to fade into the background. Another rebuild, another year of excuses. But somehow, they're everywhere. ESPN, CBS, social media, every major network and fan page has one name on repeat: Shedeur Sanders. No, he hasn't started a game. No, he's not a top draft pick. But he's already at the center of the NFL's biggest QB controversy, and it's not coming from inside the locker room. It's coming from the media, the fans, and now from one of the most trusted insiders in the league, Kay Cabot. Kay was once one of Shedeur's most vocal critics. She questioned the hype, doubted the fit, and called into question whether the Browns even had room for a player like him.
Something that is bringing the Browns right into the center of the NFL universe. Right now, it's Shedeur Sanders, right? I mean, there's just so much content, so much debate. The Browns are coming off of a 3-14 season, but every time you turn on television, every time you turn on anything, NBC, ESPN, CBS, you name it, the Cleveland Browns are right there front and center, and everyone's talking about Shedeur. So they have remained relevant even when they're not winning.
But now, she's completely flipped. According to her, without Shedeur Sanders, the Browns wouldn't even matter right now. He's not just worth the risk. She believes he's the only reason the Browns are still on the NFL map. A team that's spiraling from failed investments and quarterback chaos might have just hitched their future to an unproven rookie because they're out of options and out of time. So, how did we get here? Who is Shedeur Sanders really? And why is everyone, from analysts to locker room vets, suddenly buying in? Because what's happening in Cleveland isn't just a quarterback battle. It might be the biggest gamble in the NFL this season. And if it doesn't work, the fallout could be legendary. Just a year ago, Shedeur Sanders wasn't even in the conversation. He wasn't on depth charts. He wasn't part of the Browns' future plans. At best, he was seen as a long shot, a name with buzz because of his last name, not his resume.
It was too much value to pass up there, a developmental quarterback that they could take a look at and just kind of see what they had. And if it didn't work out, then you move on from it.
But somewhere between the end of college ball and the ashes of the Browns' 3-14 collapse, everything changed. Suddenly, Shedeur became the story. Not just a rookie quarterback, but a lightning rod for media attention. You couldn't open Twitter, scroll through sports blogs, or watch an episode of NFL Live without hearing his name. Reporters were following his every move. Influencers were debating his potential. And the front office? They were scrambling, not just to protect their investment, but to control the narrative. The Browns didn't plan for this. They expected to stash him behind veterans, maybe toss him into preseason games, and quietly develop him in the background. Low pressure, low expectations. But Shedeur doesn't operate in the background. His presence on the field was noticeable. But his presence off the field? That's where the storm really started brewing.
Well, I think that this is a football team that really tries to kind of block out some of that noise or tell themselves that they can handle it, that they can handle the storm that's going to come with a player like Shedeur.
From his polished media interviews to viral clips of him mentoring younger players at practice, fans saw something different, something real. And reporters started asking the question no one inside the organization wanted vocalized. Why isn't this guy starting? Kay Cabot, longtime Browns insider, didn't just echo that question, she lit a fire. She publicly claimed that without Shedeur, the Browns wouldn't even be part of the national conversation. And she wasn't wrong. Because for better or worse, Shedeur Sanders isn't a backup quarterback anymore. He's become the face of the conversation. At first, the Browns thought they had it under control. They figured Shedeur Sanders would bring in some buzz, sure, but they believed they could manage it. They'd seen media hype before, and they assumed the same old playbook would work. Keep him behind the scenes, hand the spotlight to the vets, and let things cool off. But that's not how it played out.
Because when they got to know Shedeur during the pre-draft process, they really liked him a lot as a human being. And I did too. I was out at the showcase.
Instead of silence, they got chaos. Every attempt to keep Shedeur quiet only made the noise louder. Every media day where he didn't speak, every training camp clip where he was seen standing on the sidelines, it all backfired. Fans started speculating. Analysts started digging. And before they knew it, the Browns weren't just dealing with routine QB questions. They were at the center of a full-on media storm. Behind the scenes, insiders now claim the Browns underestimated just how magnetic Shedeur's presence would be. He wasn't just another prospect with potential. He came with a built-in audience, millions of supporters, and a last name that still echoes through football history. The Browns didn't realize they'd stepped into something way bigger than player development. They walked right into a brand war, and they were losing. Reports suggest they tried to shift the narrative. Coaches began pushing the still developing story in interviews, hoping it would temper expectations.
In Colorado, I watched him move around Radio Row at the Super Bowl, and I really, really tried to figure out what kind of young man this was. I remember watching him on the red carpet at the NFL Honors Show, just everything. I took it all in, and I really ended up liking him as a person as well, and I still do.
But the public wasn't buying it. The more the team tried to keep Shedeur in the shadows, the more fans demanded transparency. Rumors spread that the Browns were trying to bury him to protect the depth chart, and suddenly, the management wasn't shaping the spotlight, they were running from it. Shedeur Sanders isn't just getting attention because of his last name, his arm strength, or his stats. There's something else, something harder to measure. Presence. Kay Cabot was one of the first major voices to point it out. She didn't just watch a few highlights and jump to conclusions. She watched Shedeur closely, at media events, on the red carpet, behind the scenes. She saw how he moved through a room, how people responded to him. And what she saw wasn't just a raw athlete with potential. She saw a star.
It's a good sign. I think he got rewarded for working really, really hard and doing a really nice job on everything. And he was able to go out there and go 2 for 3 in that session. He finished it off with 2 completions against some of the best defenders in the NFL. So I just thought that was a really good sign for him.
According to her, Shedeur commands attention the way rare players do. Not with ego or theatrics, but with polish, calm, and confidence. He walks like someone who already knows what he's capable of. And in a league filled with noise, panic, and overhyped drama, that calm control stands out. When she attended Super Bowl weekend, she watched Shedeur navigate interviews, meetings, and entire media gauntlets like a seasoned pro. While other rookies were overwhelmed or awkward, he was composed, charming, even magnetic. You just liked him, she said. You wanted to hear what he had to say. You wanted him to win. This wasn't about just football anymore. It became clear that Shedeur wasn't just chasing a roster spot. He represented something bigger, a shift in energy, a player people could get behind. Not because of viral moments or trash talk, but because they believe in him.
For the person, and they have. I mean, he gets along great with all of the other quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, I always see those two guys laughing together and having a great time together. I just don't think inside the building it's been anywhere near what it's been outside. What I've seen and heard from him as a person, as a human being. So that's been really, really cool to watch him kind of blossom and grow here. I caught a moment with him.
And that belief wasn't limited to the fans. Coaches started noticing. Vets started talking. And slowly, the Browns front office realized they weren't just evaluating a quarterback. They were handling a brand. Of course, not everyone's convinced. For all the media love and off-field charm, the critics have been loud and brutal. Some say Shedeur Sanders is all smoke and mirrors, that without the Deion Sanders connection, he wouldn't even be in the conversation. That he's just another overhyped college QB riding a wave that's bound to crash. And honestly, the skepticism isn't totally unwarranted. College success doesn't always translate. We've seen big names burn out fast, and when a player gets attention before their resume is built, the media circle gets ruthless. But here's where things get interesting. Stay. The people inside the building, they're seeing something different. According to Kay Cabot, it's not just fluff. She's watched him closely, on the field, in the film room, behind the scenes. And what stands out to her isn't the media-friendly persona. It's the skills. Shedeur's arm strength is the real deal. His release is crisp. His ball placement is precise. And perhaps most importantly, he's quick with his reads. Processing speed isn't something fans can always see from the outside. But for a quarterback, it can make or break a career. And by all internal accounts, that's where Shedeur shines. Kay even said it plainly. He's got superpowers when it comes to how fast he sees the game. No, he's not perfect. He still has areas to grow. But in the categories that matter most for a modern NFL quarterback, poise, decision-making, and leadership, he's ahead of the curve. And maybe way ahead of what anyone expected. Because while the media might have started the hype, he just might be out there proving them right. All the media hype in the world means nothing if you can't win over your locker room. And for rookies, that's the real test. Flash doesn't impress NFL veterans. Consistency does. Leaders aren't chosen by Twitter followers or reporters. They're chosen in the huddle, in the weight room, in the grind when the cameras are off. And that's exactly where Shedeur Sanders is making his biggest impression, according to Kay Cabot. Shedeur has already earned serious respect from the veterans in Cleveland, especially from Joe Flacco. No jealousy, no awkward tension, just mutual respect and genuine chemistry. Reporters have spotted them laughing together at practice, trading pointers, studying film side by side. Flacco, a Super Bowl champion, doesn't do that with just anyone. Internally, coaches have praised Shedeur's attitude. He's not walking around entitled. He's not flexing media buzz like it should earn him reps. He's quiet, focused, and putting in work. And that's winning over everybody. Kay says the atmosphere inside the Browns facility is completely different from the noise outside it. On the field, there's no drama, no diva behavior. Shedeur isn't demanding the spotlight. He's just earning it, step by step. But here's where things get tricky. The external pressure is growing. His fan base is vocal, loud, unforgiving when they sense disrespect. And with every practice highlight or behind-the-scenes clip that goes viral, the calls to make Shedeur the starter are getting louder and harder to ignore. The Browns know they have something special brewing internally. But how long can they hold him back before the outside world forces their hand? Because this time, it's not a question of if the fans push for change, it's a question of when they'll demand it. Eventually, the spotlight becomes unavoidable. After all the rumors, media pressure, and quiet locker room buzz, Shedeur got his shot. During a closed practice session that quickly turned into headline material, Sanders was handed first-team reps. Not handouts, not PR stunts, actual snaps against the Browns' top defense. The result? Jaw-dropping. He went 2 for 3 in a live session against some of the league's toughest defenders. Crisp passes, sharp reads, and poise you don't expect from a rookie. But this wasn't just about numbers. It was about presence under pressure. Coaches saw it. Teammates saw it. Even the doubters started shifting in their seats. Kay Cabot made sure people understood. This wasn't hype paying off. It was hard work cashing in. From the outside, it may have looked like the media forced the team's hand. But Kay shut that down fast. According to her, Shedeur didn't earn reps because of headlines. He earned them by showing up earlier, staying later, and outworking the very veterans he was being compared to. She cited his relentless film study, his quiet grind, his refusal to cut corners. Every coach loves a competitor. They respect someone who doesn't ask for respect, but earns it through actions. And that's exactly what Shedeur has been doing from day one. The highlight throws were impressive. Sure, but it's the subtle things, the eye discipline, The quick reads, the patience when under pressure, that confirms something bigger. He's not just practicing like a backup. He's performing like a starter. And for the first time, even the skeptics found themselves asking, is it already his time? This isn't just about performance anymore. Now it's about legacy and the risk of destroying it. When Kay Cabot publicly flipped her stance on Shedeur Sanders, it sent shockwaves through the Browns media world. This wasn't just a reporter changing a hot take. This was a journalist with decades of credibility in Cleveland, suddenly sounding the alarm in favor of a rookie quarterback. Not long ago, she was pointing out his flaws. She questioned whether the hype around him was built on smoke. Now, she's calling him the face of the future. And when a voice as established as hers makes that kind of pivot, the front office has to listen. Because here's the truth. It's not just about talent. It's about timing, optics, and legacy. Joe Flacco is a veteran, a proven winner. And letting go of that kind of experience too early can backfire horribly. The Browns have been down this road before. Quarterback changes that split a locker room and burn a franchise's momentum to the ground. But this one feels different. Shedeur hasn't created tension. He's diffused it. He's shown leadership by supporting the same veteran he could be replacing. He's worked quietly and earned respect loudly. Still, if the Browns make the wrong move, the consequences could be brutal. Bench Shedeur, and they risk alienating a massive fan base. Start him too soon, and a single bad performance could shatter his momentum and ignite another media firestorm. They're standing on a knife's edge, and whether they realize it or not, this is bigger than just QB1. It's a choice between protecting the past or betting it all on a future that's still unwritten. Shedeur Sanders isn't just entering the NFL. He's entering it with a spotlight most rookies never see. And what's more surprising, he's wearing it well. He's proven it's not just the name pulling him forward. It's the grit, the leadership, the maturity that can't be taught in training camp. He's outworking veterans, staying unbothered by the media circus, and drawing in fans at a level the Browns haven't experienced in years. And the locker room, it's backing him. The guy who was once labeled a media creation is now being called a leader by long-tenured veterans. The same analysts who rolled their eyes at the hype are now pointing out his decision-making, his arm talent, and maybe more importantly, his composure. But make no mistake, the real test isn't over. It hasn't even begun. If the Browns hand over the keys, they're doing more than naming a new QB1. They're making a statement about the direction of the franchise. Are they bold enough to reshape how they operate? Or will they fall back into the same conservative cycles that have held them back for years? Kay Cabot's public reversal marks a turning point. She knows what's at stake, and she's made her decision. She believes in Sanders, not because it's trendy, but because she's seen something in him that can't be ignored. So now, the Browns are at a crossroads. Play it safe and risk fading further into irrelevance, or take the leap and spark a new era. With a quarterback who isn't just ready to play, he's ready to lead. What do you think? Is Shedeur Sanders the future of the Cleveland Browns? Or is this all just another hype wave bound to crash? Drop your thoughts below, because this story, it's just getting started.